Well, guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I seen this story and I thought this was interesting. I wanted to share it with you guys. There are two things at the top of the list that I could not do for my own personal reasons, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for both of these jobs. First one is a police officer. Second one is a teacher. Name me a teacher in middle school or high school nowadays. There's no way. I don't have the patience and to deal with a lot of kids. And the violence level now in the world is one of the reasons why. And speaking of violence levels, I'm going to talk to you today because I seen an article about Houston and the Houston area, where it's talking about the rate of student attacks on teachers has grown significantly higher, school staff included, in the past year. And this is just, just random attacks. I want you to take a look at this. They dug into the records of 20 different school districts around the area. And you'll be surprised at the findings they found. There's no way I'll be a teacher nowadays, man, especially if I'm trying to wait till retirement. Ain't no way. Check this out.
Teachers and school staff in the Houston area are facing a rise in student attacks, and not just a small one. KPRC2 dug into records from 25 school districts and found a jump of more than 8% last school year from the previous year.
We're talking about serious injuries, from bruises, cuts, broken bones, impacting not just teachers, but everyone who plays a part in your child's education. I talked to a local teacher who's been through it and is calling for bigger changes to keep our schools safe.
He said, "I'm going to kill you."
This teacher, who we'll call Joe, taught middle school in Houston Independent School District for more than 5 years. Life for Joe changed last October when he became one of the many educators injured by a student in Texas each year.
Physically assaulted me, jumped on my back and started punching me.
Joe says he wasn't prepared for this kind of violence.
I did what I thought was necessary to make myself safe, as well as all the students around me.
Texas Education Agency reports in the 2023-2024 school year, assaults on educators jumped 18% from the previous school year. We wanted to know what the trend looks like throughout the Houston area.
KPRC2 reached out to 25 local school districts for workers' compensation data to find out how many of their employees were injured by students, whatever the reason might be. Houston, Klein, and Waller ISDs did not give us the information we wanted. Data from the other 22 local districts revealed during the past 2 school years, a total of 3,501 staff members were injured by students, and that number jumped 8.2% year over year. The districts with employees reporting the most student-caused injuries were Cy-Fair ISD, Aldine ISD, and Fort Bend ISD.
As an educator yourself, what would you like to see happen in situations like this?
More accountability for the violent students. 30 days is not long enough. He said it.
And in the last hour, we dug deeper into this alarming situation unfolding in our schools.
I sat down with Jackie Anderson, president of Houston Federation of Teachers, to talk about the problem.
Well, it rings to me that our students are not getting what they need. They should, after COVID, there has been an alarming pull from our classrooms for counselors, wraparound services, and people who would offer mental health services to our students, and those are all lacking in our schools. So students are not getting the supports they need. And so I'm not surprised at all.
18%, that's across the state. That's an increase across the state we're seeing. Here locally, of the more than 20 districts we queried, 3,500 incidents reported in which staff members of these districts were injured by students. 3,500. That's a lot.
It's alarming. It's alarming. And it, as I said before, it just shows that our students are not getting the services that they need. You know, students come to schools with many different types of baggages from home. And they need more than just academic instruction sometimes, and teachers are called upon to provide those services that they need, counseling, nursing, and things of that nature. They're not getting that now because everything is so test prep oriented, and the focus is on testing so much that teachers don't have time to develop relationships with students, and that's where the problem comes in.
How many teachers, how many educators do you represent with Houston Federation of Teachers?
5,500.
5,500. What shocks you the most when you look at this information, when you see these numbers, knowing the reality of the situation? What shocks you the most?
What shocks me with the HISD is the lack of transparency, that they won't even put out the information so we know where to go from there. We have to have a baseline, and we can't get that information. And so here again, that's why we start the No Trust, No Bond, because we don't have that. We can't rely on them to give us the information we need so we can help our teachers. Have
you seen an increase of educators coming to you out of fear of this happening to them?
Unfortunately, we have. And it's not even physical. Sometimes it's just emotional, psychological. The threats alone can keep teachers from wanting to be in their classrooms.
What do schools need to do? What do districts need to do to better protect staff members from this problem? What can educators themselves do? Well, first, educators need to protect themselves. They need to document these threats. They need to make sure that they are reported. What school districts need to do is to provide services for our students. Counseling service, mental health services. Even if those services don't happen at school, they need to happen for students. Tonight we're looking into a solution, some call a solution, assault leave. That is an option for educators who have been harmed by students. Talk to us about what assault leave is. So any teacher that asks for assault leave should be granted assault leave immediately. However, the district can go back and do some investigation and come back and say that the assault leave was denied and go into the teacher's leave bank, accrued leave bank, and take their days. So there's criteria for assault leave. Even though the teacher may ask for it and receive it immediately, there still is criteria that has to be followed. Have you seen an increase in educators requesting assault leave? Well, we haven't been able to get that information from HISD, so we don't know. Only the ones who we have personal conversations with or that report to us that they have been assaulted at school. So we don't have, good data on that. Okay. Well, we're going to leave the conversation here. We're going to pick the conversation up on assault leave tonight on the news at 6. But for now, we so much appreciate your time this morning coming in. Thank you so much. Final thoughts for educators? Please protect yourself, because this is a rising situation across the state. So I'm sure it's rising in HISD, even though we don't have specific data, but you need to protect yourself at all times. And Ms. Jackie, I do have one more question for you before I let you go. What would be your message to parents of these students? If you know that your child is experiencing some type of emotional problem or emotional stress, reach out to the school. At least put it on document, on paper, so that it will be incumbent upon the school district to provide some type of service, even if it's not at the campus. Yeah.
See that? That shit's crazy to me. Fighting on the grown-ups and stuff like that in school. When I was in school, that was unheard of. You'll get a smart mouth student sometimes having a bad day, and the teacher send them out of the class. That'd be the end of it. Nowadays, they saying teachers scared for their lives. Did you see that? HISD, Houston Independent School District, won't even give up the information so they can get the statistics of how many teachers been hurt or seriously, injured or threatened by students. Won't even get the information up. That's a damn shame. I'm gonna tell you something. Couple things come to mind when I watch that news article. First thing is that goes under the radar is a lot of kids come from broken homes or homes with a lot of problems where the stress level is high and it compounds on the student and it affects their ability to go to school and be productive and learn. That's one thing. Another thing is you can't really blame the school. A school is not a daycare center. And that's one of the things you see a lot of times when things happen to students, or they'll say, oh, the school dropped the ball. The school, they supposed to be this. Listen, students have to have some type of accountability and reflective of the home training that they have, and know that your only job as a kid living in your parents' house is to go to school and learn and represent your family in a good light. But you don't see that nowadays a lot of times with a lot of younger people nowadays, because they come from all kind of backgrounds and go through all different type of strifes and struggles in their daily life when they're home and not at school. They had something called, they had a certain type of leave, I forgot what it was called, where when they get hurt or battered, they can just take this leave. He said a lot of it's not even physical, it's the stress of getting threatened by a student of physical harm. What? Man, the world is a crazy place, man. It's a crazy place. She brought up COVID. When she brought up COVID, I was thinking, I was dating a girl who had 5 kids in high school during COVID. Every time she left the house and would come back, she would have to scream at them to get up. They either playing video games, they're not even in class, or they got the thing running on the school computer. They ain't even paying attention. They playing the video games while the thing just running. And I'm like, maybe they got used to being home, and that 1 year of them being home, like made it the way they like, I don't want to go to school no more. I want it to be like it used to be. Either way, man, you don't threaten teachers. And it shows, you know, what you're seeing in school is a reflection of how it is outside in the world. Younger kids, a lot of them are targeting older people. A lot of them talk to you like they on your level. A lot of them are jump in your face like they swear they can beat you and be nothing but 13, 14, 15 years old and be this big. Dare you to do something. It's a radical shift going on in this nation, the way we deal with each other in parenting, so on and so forth, and you're starting to see it. You know, teachers go in there, they're underpaid, they got to get up every day and go in there and try to teach these kids that don't want to learn stuff a lot of times. And is it all kids? No, it's not all kids. But the ones that are disruptive and stuff inhibits the learning ability of the ones that are there for the right reasons. That's the thing that's messed up about it, man. What y'all think? Leave me a comment, man. Where you think this stem from? I think a lot of it is the households they come from and the parenting. That's like the first in the forefront. Because if you notice, the lady was talking, she was staying on task, but the reporter asked her, what about parents that have children that, he goes back to parenting. That's why he brought that up, to see what she would say. But either way, man, you got to get the statistics, man. HISD, man. Come on, man. Be ashamed of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.